Hey everyone, it's Brenda Quintana here. It is Tuesday, it is Casing Tuesday, and it's raining here in Boston. And today I'm going to show you how I stamped the card that I posted on my blog today. I did it a little differently than the card in the catalog, and I'll show you how I did that. I'm a little preoccupied today, actually. It is, hi Lisa, so glad you're here. I'm a little preoccupied today. The river level of the Charles is rising and it is coming into my backyard, and whenever that happens, we might get flooding in the basement. So this morning, my husband and I, we went through the basement, made sure everything that needed to be up was up. There's some things like we keep on the floor, obviously, that we don't always put up, like our lawnmower and things like that. So we're raising everything up to make sure if it does flood that it won't cause damage to any of our possessions. We don't really have like furniture that we're using right now downstairs. It's an unfinished basement, so it's not like that. Hi Janine, glad you're here. So it's not a huge, well, it is an issue because if there's water in the basement, I will probably have to clean it up. So just a little preoccupied this morning, but I am going to stamp the card anyway because I want to show you guys how to make it. And so I am going to jump right in and we'll get started with our card. And thanks, Lisa. It is kind of scary. It's not life or death or anything like that, but it's like an inconvenience, and it's uncertainty, and I want to try and minimize it. I actually emailed the person that's in charge for the river level yesterday, and he is not going to change the river level. He says it's where it should be, but I don't understand why that should be when the river level is right at the fence line. And if it comes into the yard, obviously, I don't think the river is meant to be in the yard. If the fence was, built, at the river's edge. So, I'm trying everything that I can to keep the water from coming into the house, but there's just very little I can do right now. So let's stamp and let's do happy things because I don't want to think about this river situation right now while I stamp. So let me show you what the card is. It's Casing Tuesday is what we do every Tuesday. We take a card out of the catalog and we copy it. And we can copy it exactly, we can copy and change a few things, or we can copy and just completely change it out. So that's what we do. Let me see what Janine just wrote. Janine says, it's just one more thing to deal with, and you're right, it's an inconvenience and sounds like it could be prevented. Blah. Right, it's blah. Okay, I know, it sucks, but stamping is kind of like my happy place, and I think it is that way for many different people, and hi Catherine, so glad you're here. Stamping is just one of those things that, you do to keep happy. It keeps you, when life has stresses, you come to stamping. And, my stamping friends, a lot of us have talked about this, and it's our happy place, and so we can have crappy stuff go on in our lives, and then we can retreat into our area, craft area or whatever, and we can do art, and it heals our soul, So good morning, Catherine. I'm glad to have you here. So that's why it's so important to have these hobbies that keeps our souls enriched and refreshed, and that's why I'm here today and not downstairs in my basement that might be flooded soon. So let me show you the card that today we are casing out the catalog. I'm going to flip this around, just give me a sec. All right, okay, here is the card. We're on Casing Tuesday number 89. This card right here, this little card gave me a lot of trouble. I should show you what I did because, you sometimes think, sometimes people email me and say, oh, oh, you're so brilliant. You know, how'd you come up with that? Well, it's because I play a lot with different things. And I always try and troubleshoot. And this card, you know, for me, I did not want to have to stamp the happy birthday, I don't know how many times, at least 10 times, and get it all straight and perfect. And I thought, do I really want to do that on a Facebook Live? Not really. I mean, I could, but for most people, stamping this in different colors multiple times, it's doable, but it's like a hard card to get right on the first time. And I was like, eh. So like, I mean, I did start, you know, I tried, like I did like, thank you, just to kind of see what I would, you know, if that would look good. I didn't like that. I tried it with like a happy birthday. You know, this was just kind of like, I cut quarter sheets of computer paper so I can practice stamping. You know, I think a lot of people do that. And then I was kind of, I thought maybe I could use the hot air balloon. And I did like a cloud design and I wasn't really happy with that. And, you know, it was kind of like, wasn't making me happy. So, you know, those are just some of the samples that I was just, you know, kind of playing with. Like my cards don't always just come out of thin air and it's all good. So this is, I just used ditto marks for the words. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You could do that. Hi, Sandra. Hi from Australia. Oh, thank you for joining us. Sandra says she loves my cards and projects, and I love casing my cards and projects. Thank you. I'm glad you case my cards. I mean, that's and projects. That's what they're there for. That's why I put them on my blog. So this is the card that I came up with. So we went from, let me put them side by side. We went from this card that has the happy birthday stamp multiple times, and I decided to do this fringe, which makes me a whole lot happier because it's like so much easier to do. And if you had to do a bunch of these cards, it would just be, I say, much faster and easier than doing this one. So I'm going to show you how to make that card. This is the stamp set I used. It is called Window Shopping. You might recognize it because it's actually part of a bundle with our little window box. And so it pairs with that, but it has this great big happy birthday, and I thought that would be perfect for the front of the card. So let me pop my little thing into the holder so I can be hands-free. Okay. All right, let me get this straightened out. Okay, that looks good. Hi, Marcine. Oh, thank you. You love my card? Well, thank you. Okay, so this is the card we're making, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to do a square card base this time. So to start off with, I use the thick whisper weight. You kind of need to use, let me just move this a bit. I can kind of see the edge of my thing, and I'm not really happy about that. Let's see. I'm such a perfectionist. Let me just scoot this up because later on this video is going to be recorded, and I hate it when it doesn't look good. So this is a piece of thick whisper white cardstock, and I've cut it to 8.5 inches by 4.25 inches. And then I just scored it in half at the 4.25 inch mark. And that makes a square card. Now I would mail this out in just a regular medium envelope because the banner is sticking out just a little bit too. So if you wanted to, you could slip another piece of cardstock behind the card if you wanted to make sure the envelope didn't have a floppy end to it. But it could mail in one of our regular medium envelopes. So just so you know that. The minimum size for a square envelope with US Post is 5 by 5 inches, I believe. So if you made an envelope that fit this card exactly, it couldn't be mailed by US Post. So you would use either a medium envelope or you would make a 5 by 5 square envelope. All right, so that's the card base. And then to create the fringe, I took 3 pieces of the striped designer series paper from the Brights pack. And one of the tricks to this card is I don't want to fringe all the way through to the edge, and I don't want too much bulk right here at the side. So I only want to fringe about 3/4 inch from the edge. So how do I get that so it's pretty precise? So I take my scoring board.
is kind of cool. You just take your scoring board, and I just put a marker in at the 3 1/4 inch mark. And what I'll do is I'm going to score at the 3 1/4 inch mark on all of these. And that is going to give me my point where I have to stop fringing with my fringe scissors. And then I'm not going to have to guess exactly how far to fringe. And then this will create a nice flat surface at the end. So you don't have to, like, you know, have extra bulk at this end of the card, because it's already going to be bulky when you stick another piece of cardstock over top of that. So then all you do is take your fringe scissors and you just, I line up the edge, the end of my fringe scissors with the score line, and I just start snipping, and it will go right to the edge. And oh, I cut a little piece off, but don't worry if your fringe is not perfect, because there's so much fringe there. It's actually good if it doesn't look perfect. So when you cut right to the edge with this, it kind of flips these little fringe pieces around a little bit, which makes it look better, I think. So there's that one. Then I'll do the next color. And again, I'm just cutting right until I reach the very end of this score mark. So just keep going right till you get to the end. Okay, so this one right here, you could do it with a fringe scissor, but it might be a little risky. You might fringe it right off. So you can take a cheater thing and just do with scissors. So I'm just going to cut this one like that, just in case. I didn't want that fringe to take that last piece off. I wasn't sure what that would do. So let's do this one more time. This is Daffodil Delight. Oh, and actually, you probably can see I'm not using the same colors as I did on my original card. I'm using Daffodil Delight, Melon Mambo, and Tempting Turquoise. And I've got another thick end right here, so let me just cut up this piece. Let me line it up like that. Okay, so then we just glue these pieces together. And today I have a fresh ball of glue, so I don't have to like play with my little glue bottle ends. I'm sure you're happy about that, because it always took me a while. So let me get a little bit of glue on this end. I'm putting it on the flat end. And so I'm lining it up with the next level. Make sure I get it on straight. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then let me put some on this end right here. And, oh, and you're probably wondering, what the heck are my measurements? Yes, that would be a good thing. All right, I'll tell you that right now. They're all 4 1/4 inches tall, okay? And this first one is, the Tempting Turquoise is 1.5 inches wide. The Melon Mambo is 2 inches wide, and the Daffodil Delight is 2.5 inches. Okay, so I'll have the measurements on my blog, so don't worry about trying to write them down right now. Don't worry about that, because I'll have them written down for you. But then we have one last piece, and this is my cover piece. It kind of anchors this whole thing. I think if I did it striped right to the end, let me see what that would look like. I didn't even try it. I just felt like, because of the original card, it kind of needed a little bit of anchoring. See, I think once the banner comes on here, I really think that it does need the cardstock piece over here on the left. So that's what I add. I take the same color as my top color of Designer Series paper, which is Tempting Turquoise, and this one is 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4. So then I just put Tombow on this one, and I just scoot this over top like that. And this kind of creates my little fringe masterpiece. And then I have a nice flat place to glue this on. And then I glue it to my card base. Make sure your card is opening to the side here. And then just make sure this is right on the end, like that. So you've got your little fringe working there. And then we're going to need the triple banner punch. We need to create that little happy birthday banner. And so I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I've cut this piece to 5 inches by 1.5 inches. And I'm going to scoot this into the middle part of the triple banner punch and give it a little punch. And then I'm going to take the middle color. So on my original card, it was Real Red. And on this card, it is Melon Mambo. So I'll take my Melon Mambo ink pad. And let me turn this around. This is the happy birthday stamp from window shopping. Ink, 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 ink. Make sure it is inked up. Okay, that looks good. I want to make sure that I leave myself enough room on the left side. As you can see right here, I need enough room for the balloon. So I'm going to probably stamp, the birthday needs to be about 1 inch. Make sure it's straight. Let's see how that looks. Pretty good. All right, I like that. Okay, and so then we're going to add this down here like that. So to add this piece, I think I'll use some dimensionals just to give it a little bit of pop. So I'm going to put 2 on this end. And then I want the other 2 to be right off the fringe. So I'm just kind of looking at that to make sure that they will be off the fringe and lifting off the fringe. So then all I have to do is remove my little liners. See, this card's pretty easy. I like that this card, you could do it in all the different Designer Series paper stack colors, like whatever colors you have. If you have the in colors or the subtles or, you know, whatever you have, it will work. It might even work really nicely with other papers. I don't even know. I haven't tried it out, but there's a little dimensional sticking to that. So then the last thing that I want to do is add a little balloon embellishment. So I've got the balloon bouquet punch here. Let me open that up. And I've got a scrap piece of my Daffodil Delight. And so I'm just going to punch out a balloon. There we go. And I'm going to glue this balloon like right there. So let me just take some Tombow and put some right there. And I want to make... Hi, I'm here again. Sorry about that. I lost my internet connection for a few minutes and I wasn't sure whether or not it was going to come back on. And so I stopped the video because I thought, oh, I'm going to try and preserve this if I can, because I don't have time to refilm it today, just given everything with the flooding situation and stuff. I just didn't want to lose that part. And so I apologize. And hi, Cindy Lee. You thought it was you. Yeah, I know. It got stuck on that last thing, and I checked on my computer, and my computer was frozen as well. And I thought, okay, it's not just my phone losing the live connection. So basically I just ended it. So I've kind of preserved most of it, and the card was finished. Let me flip this around. Okay, ta-da, the card is finished, yay. So this is what the finished card looks like. I think it kind of crapped out on me when I was sticking that last little bow on, and I was just saying that a little dot of Tombow will hopefully hold the bow because the fibers and the twine should stick it down. So I think that's going to hold nicely. So there is the finished card. I know some of you are already on the Casing Tuesday Facebook group, and I'm going to post that link after this video, and I hope you will get on there and show me what you can do. This might be a challenging card for you, but it might not. I would say, you know, don't worry about stamping this happy birthday over and over again, or whatever greeting you use. You can do that over and over again if you want to, but you could just use the layout of the card, right? You could maybe use paper that goes right to there. So just don't let that throw you. Like, just do something different. I kind of replaced the words with the fringe, and I think that looks cool. But even that, you know, is not necessarily necessary. You could have just done a piece of designer series paper up until here. Or just forget the designer series paper, you know, just use a banner across the front. So I think this is definitely a doable layout. So don't let it stump you like it did me at first. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with on our Facebook group. Last week's card was, wow, I loved all the samples that people did. They were awesome. Cindy Lee, I loved it. Cindy Lee did 3 different cards and they were amazing. So please get on the Casing Tuesday Facebook group, and I'm going to post the link in the description of this video. I will upload this to YouTube in case you want to catch it later. And all the supplies I used for this card and all the measurements will be on my blog. So look for that link as well if you didn't catch that during my video. So let me flip myself around. I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties this morning. I have a feeling it has something to do with the rain. So hoping that I don't have more technical difficulties in my vlogging later today, but hopefully things will just calm down. But I hope you guys all get a chance to stamp today and get into your stamping space and enjoy some crafty time, because I know that really cheers me up when there's stuff going on, because I really didn't even think about what was going on outside until my technical difficulty, and then I started thinking, does that have anything to do with all this rain? So, you know, you can take a moment and, you know, just, you know, chill out with your stamps and ink and craft supplies and forget about the rest of the world for a moment. And, you know, we need that time to rejuvenate ourselves and to, you know, just feel good for a moment, and then you can go on with the rest of the day and deal with dinner and dishes and all the other problems and challenges you have during the day. And so, you know, use this as your oasis, use this as your time for you. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you back here next week. I'm not even sure what I'm stamping next week. I check that on the weekend, and then I figure out what I'm doing. So next week will be another new card for Casing Tuesday, and I will see you same time, same place. Oh, and Cindy Lee says, the only good thing about all this rain here in Ottawa is that it melts all the yucky white stuff covering the ground. Oh, Cindy Lee, oh my gosh, you still have snow. Our snow is gone for the most part. There's a few piles here and there. But yeah, Canada, yeah, you guys are dealing still with snow, so that sucks. I'm sorry about that. And I just wish all the rain, we're supposed to get heavy rain today, so that's what has me a little bit concerned. But I hope it melts your yucky white stuff, and it probably doesn't look very white right now because it looks probably brown and stuff from all the salt and sand and stuff that you have to put on the roads. But I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.